crying?
Yes, I'm crying. He hit me with a chair.
Time to cover the very last WWF branded wrestling game for the Sega Genesis. This one is WWF Royal Rumble, developed by Sculptured Software and published by Acclaim. In the year 1993 for both Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. Now this one is the only wrestling game for Genesis I grew up playing. I never had the other games and never played them until making these reviews. So let's see if nostalgia is blinding me, cause this one I remember fondly.
Pointless nostalgia.
So let's get it into the game already and wrap up yet another compilation for the year as we approach the end of 2024. Man, where has the time gone?
Where did the time go?
The roster for this game is a bit weird. I mean, I can recognize some of these guys, but you'd think there'd be some others in there. Anyways, we have Randy Savage.
How about the funky chicken? Is that a rose?
Bret the Hitman Hart, Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker, Crush, Lex Luger, Razor Ramon, Papa Shango, The Model, IRS, Shawn Michaels, and Jim Duggan.
Who's that?
There are several wrestlers exclusive to each version of Royal Rumble. For Super Nintendo, they get Ric Flair, Mr. Perfect, Ted DiBiase, Yokozuna, Tatanka, while Genesis players got The Model, Papa Shango, Hulk Hogan, IRS, and Jim Duggan. Honestly, I hate how each version has exclusive wrestlers, especially because some of them on Super Nintendo I like more so than on Genesis. This is a con to older games, rights and memory limitations and all that jazz.
Look at that hunk of junk.
Like every Genesis game ever, especially all these WWF games, WWF Royal Rumble has some clunky controls, using the likes of A for run, B for punch, and C for kick. Then you got combinations just to pull off grapple moves. Let alone, you have to be in a certain position and your opponent must be in a certain state for each move to work. All because of the 3-button limitations. So you want to grapple? Press B and C together. Of course, that sounds like nothing, right? Problem is, it doesn't always register, and you may end up doing something else. You have to time the button presses together, or suffer.
You're right, it is oddly clunky and expositional.
To pick up opponents off the floor, press B and C together near their head, otherwise it won't work. Want to clothesline your opponent? You have to have them running at you and time A and B together to pull it off. But only if they don't attack you in turn, otherwise they cancel your attack and get hit instead. This in turn means you can get tossed around if you try to run at them, but it's a pain to counter them running.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Pinning your opponent requires B and C while they're on the ground, but remember, don't be near their head or else you'll pick them up instead of pin them. Starting to see the issue? The controls are just a mess.
What Nintendo?
Grapples are a pain in the ass as you have to just mash buttons hoping to win, but most of the time grapples are just a pointless time waster that happens so often you just drop your controller to let your opponent get their hit so you can get back to punching and kicking, because that's all there really is combat wise. So how is the combat? It feels slightly less sluggish than Raw or Super WrestleMania. You can knock out the ref to pull off illegal moves, which is a neat thing that wasn't in WWF Attitude or any 3D game so far for PS1. There's special moves, but of course those are near impossible to pull off with these clunky controls. Having to press a combination of buttons and be in a certain location with your opponent being in a certain state / position really makes me not to want to ever use them, and I never did. There's only 4 game modes in WWF Royal Rumble, those being 1-on-1, Tag Team, Triple Tag Team, and Royal Rumble, with some options within each mode like Tournament and Brawl. Brawl basically being hardcore match as there's no rules, and Tournament is, well, Tournament, and I'm not going to bother covering it.
Motherfucker!
1-on-1 has you fighting with normal rules in effect. Of course, a ref is present, and this offers opportunity with knocking them out to commit illegal moves like chairs, eye rake, and choking.
You little...
Of course, I didn't get to do those moves, and the CPU only used them really in Royal Rumble, hence why I showed it.
Of course!
So yeah, 1-on-1 is your standard match and it plays just okay. The more I play, especially with 3 other Genesis games and 5 PS1 WWF games already experienced, I started to get accustomed to bad controls and sluggish combat. The Brawl option, if selected, allows you to use 2 illegal moves, no ring out, and using a single chair. Yeah, there's only 1 chair, and the CPU will never allow me to use it near them. They'll just get back in the ring, waiting for me, and I'm not allowed to bring it into the ring either. Lame.
Gotcha, bitch!
Nope.
Motherfucker!
Again, I never got to use the chairs, so I had to use triple tag team mode footage for this.
We get it.
I did have fun, but I do wish there was more than just 1 chair, let alone more weapons too. But it is what it is.
Are you crying? Yes, I'm crying. He hit me with a chair.
There's no ref in this version either. Your goal is just to brutalize them into a knockout by depleting their health bar. Tag team match is fun, unlike WWF Super WrestleMania, where the AI didn't help me at all.
Now, this really pisses me off to no end.
Fuck you!
The CPU did its job decently in this game. Go figure.
I know you told your friend you're not okay.
Just like 1-on-1, you have to follow the same rules. Your goal is to pin your opponent. Of course, during pinning, both tag team partners will storm the ring. One to stop the pin, and the other to stop the person trying to stop the pin. It's a fun mode, and tagging your partner isn't that hard to do. Unlike certain other WWF games I won't bother to mention. Just know it's a fine mode that plays decent as can be. The third mode is Triple Tag Team, so you play the usual tag team match but with 1 extra partner.
No shit, Sherlock!
But only one is on the sideline at a time, so if you need to tag in someone who has more health, then you need to press a combination of buttons to swap who's waiting. Does suck they can't all be there, given this game can handle up to 6 wrestlers at a time in the ring, but whatever. Does get distracting seeing your partner swap spots as you mash buttons trying to get out of grapples though. With 2 partners instead of 1, there's a better chance of you winning the match since you can tag out when things get ugly, but in turn your opponents will abuse this as well, causing this match to take a long time, but not as long as Royal Rumble did. The best part of this game is Royal Rumble. Given it's named after the match, you'd hope they did a good job with it. Right?
Exactly.
Well, thankfully, they did it. This mode is a ton of fun. There's a whopping 6 wrestlers in the ring at once, leading to a ton of chaos as you try to keep track of where you are and who's a potential threat/target. I never could get people tossed out of the ring, so I just tried to weaken everyone I could, hoping to last till there was just the 2 of us last standing. But of course, that didn't go according to plan. Nothing ever really does it?
Shit the fuck!
As to be expected from Genesis, this game has some muffled audio. It's all in the sound effects like the crowd, impacts, grunts, and menu navigation. It's not nails on a chalkboard unlike certain other Genesis games though, and since there's no real voice acting, it's not a muffled mess like WrestleMania, the arcade game. Out of every WWF game on Genesis, I feel like this one has some of the best music. Not just in terms of quality, but because of the unique music.
Off! Turn it off! For God's sake, turn it off!
That also comes along with every wrestler's theme. In fact, I've used WWF Royal Rumble soundtrack in most of my wrestling game reviews to this point for a reason.
Oh, dear God.
Maybe I even stand up and hit a little boogie with it. Was that the fun part? Huh? Camcorder's being...
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay? No more! Where the fuck are your parents? Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop!
Is it over?
The game runs pretty smooth, as I never encountered any slowdown or long loading times. This game just has a bit of a sluggish combat system with clunky controls. Gotta give it props for having 6 wrestlers in the ring at once with no issues. unlike WrestleMania, the arcade game that had some slowdown with 4 wrestlers on screen at once. At the end of the day, WWF Royal Rumble is a mediocre game that I can recommend. It's got some flaws like lack of content, muffled audio, small mixed bag roster, and clunky controls.
Well, we've heard it a million times. Get over it.
But it's a doable experience for a 16-bit wrestling game. Also, this marks the last WWF game for the Sega Genesis.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. It's over.
I've officially reviewed all 4 games. Yet you think there may have been more, but nope. Oh well, at least I can put another compilation to rest here in a while. But first, we need to wrap up the PlayStation WWF games with only one more game to go.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, and also one last Sega Dreamcast fishing game. Anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later.
Ah, you can feel it, dude! And that's enough to get me hot.
Well, it's finally time to review the very last WWF game for the PlayStation 1.
Oh my God, no!
After finishing up the last WWF game for Sega Genesis and the last fishing game for the Sega Dreamcast, it's time to get WWF Smackdown 2, Know Your Role, for the PlayStation over with.
Change the channel, Mark.
Yeah, I know, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I have to finish this up to move on to other projects. I'm thinking of stopping all compilations after this to focus on random reviews again like I did earlier in the year. But also because I hate having to make a video on the same thing over and over again. It gets old for me, as it does for you.
I hear that.
So let's jump into WWF Smackdown 2 already and see if it's as good as I remember for when I was a kid, since that was the last time I really played this game. Is nostalgia blinding me? Is this game actually garbage?
Maybe. Probably. Definitely.
We'll start out with Create a Wrestler mode. Thankfully, unlike the first SmackDown game, 2 will allow up to 10 created wrestlers instead of 4. But is that really enough of an improvement? Well, they also included more advanced ways of customization by selecting pieces, recoloring them, and including a new system to change up your stats. So now, you can make powerhouses, flying body slammers, and people who don't know what a safe word is via Roughneck.
Give up.
The con to the improved car mode is we don't have much to work with still. They only slightly improved from the first game. I wasn't able to give Charlie a white shirt, instead having to settle with a black one. Same thing for Asmongold.
Oh my God. Who the fuck was this for? They forgot, maybe it's undecided because the developers haven't figured it out.
Meanwhile, Mudahar was easy to make, but the average Asmongold viewer did hit a snag with the furry mask not being a thing. So I had to just go ahead and make him purdy.
What the fuck?
The last person I made was JD Delay, but they don't have much in the way of tattoos, and you can only have one on your body. So we can actually make something instead of using the actual wrestler's body parts, though that's still an option. What else is there? You can now choose their signs and assign who they're on good terms with or not. But that's about it. Overall, a meh Create a Wrestler mode.
You really are too picky.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I still say WWF Attitude has the best Create a Wrestler mode for the PlayStation 1. The controls remain unchanged from Smackdown 1.
Lazy.
Using X to attack, square to block, triangle to run, circle for grapple, D-pad for movement, R1 to grab weapons to get in and out of the ring, on top of the ropes, and of course to switch targets. Which did lead me to suffer a lot. I mean, a lot. So control-wise, it's still the same and clunky mess. I can't believe I'm saying this, but WWF Attitude might be the best one of the traditional wrestling games for PS1 so far.
What the
The combat remains unchanged from this first Smackdown game.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
So there's not much to say unless you haven't seen my review for WWF Smackdown.
No! Well, yeah!
So here's a brief summary of what I said before. The combat is very fast-paced and arcade-like. In turn, this means the AI doesn't play around, so get used to being thrown around the ring and matches not lasting longer than about a minute. I feel like I should put a sex joke in there, but nah, I'm more classy than that.
What a load.
So now on to the match types. We'll only cover 7 of them, with some of our usual picks, but also a couple of new ones. We'll start out with your traditional match via one-on-one. Setting up a game is easier than before with much better UI. On top of that, we can choose more rules than before to really tweak each match we play. It's an overall better experience so far, but what about the matches? It's simple fun if you can look past the clunky mechanics. I was having more fun gameplay wise in Smackdown 2 than I was in Smackdown 1. Your standard one-on-one match requires you to pin your opponent, or if you change the rules, maybe even knock them out or make them give up, you name it. It's a fine mode that plays well enough here. Instead of the normal tag team match, this time we'll take a look at the alternative option, the more chaotic fun one called Tornado Tag. This is where teams of 2 are in the ring at the same time, pulling off all kinds of moves together and trying to get a pin while their partner holds off the other guy. It's a fun mode that was so intense, but sadly the lock-on system kept getting in the way. Honestly hated how it would just randomly select who to attack. This made me hit my partner more times than I wanted to. It also gave my opponents the chance to body slam me non-stop. So fuck the lock-on system, cause no matter what, I cannot stop targeting random opponents. It won't let me target who I desire, leaving me open to be always attacked.
You can be my plaything. I can be your toy. Just because I'm skinny, I can't be your sick boy.
My favorite match type in all of wrestling is always hardcore. Where else can I beat a 400-pound, steroid-abusing, 7-foot-tall dude to a bloody pulp? with a chair.
He ain't lying.
Just getting to smash all kinds of weapons into your opponents, watching them squirm on the floor in agony, bleeding out. It's just a fun time. I even got to beat Mutahar with a nightstick, which is kind of funny and disturbing in a way.
Bruh.
Hey, don't look at me, Muta. It's Charlie who did it.
Look at me. Do I look crazy to you? I didn't think so.
Having Charlie, Muta, Zack, and JD just brutalize each other in and out of the ring, using each other's favorite weapons against them, which you can set and create a wrestler. This mode is just pure fun. I'll never get sick of hardcore matches. Tables, ladders, chairs, sledgehammers, barbed wire, thumbtacks, C4 explosives, 2x4s, nightsticks, televisions, you name it. All just a good time. Another match type is Hell in a Cell, found under the special category alongside several others, but to keep this review short, I'll only cover a few of them.
Not about me being lazy.
Hell in the Cell has you in the ring, surrounded by a cage. There's no escape unlike a normal cage match, which we'll get to. Instead, you must pin, knock out, or tap out your opponent with nowhere to run or hide. No weapons, no rules, just one-on-one in a small space. It's a fun match type that I kind of wish we could recreate with Undertaker and Mick Foley incident, where we're on top of the cage and it gives way, but it is what it is. What should have been a fun match type ended up being almost 15 minutes of pure agony. Not only because of the controls, but because of the non-stop loading screens that occur every time a new wrestler jumps into the ring.
Man, this sucks. It's just like, I don't even know what to say.
It's awful.
Thankfully, unlike the first Smackdown game, this one is the full 30 wrestlers, and I like how this game doesn't care about gender. Men and women are allowed in the ring. Awesome seeing China, may she rest in peace, and even Lita, another legend, and a sexy one at that, duke it out in the ring with many other wrestlers. But then the loading times kicked in again. Dear God, this made me almost snap.
I'm off my meds!
Hurry up, it's starting. I don't know what we're in for.
I'm a little confused whether this is a comedy or a tragedy. A catastrophe in the end will certainly clear things up. Let's watch.
Hurry it up!
A classic match type thanks to The Undertaker is casket match. Yes, the iconic match is here, and it's not that fun. I mean, it's okay, but you just beat each other till one can be put in the coffin. If they get knocked down while in the coffin, the lid magically appears, and it's a loss for the one inside. Kind of anticlimactic, really. The last match type I'll cover is cage match. Unlike Hell in a Cell, you have the ability to escape this one, and it is the way you win. All the while trying to knock down your opponent long enough in the hopes of having enough time to climb the wall and escape. The tension is there, leading you to scramble for the cage wall, hoping to shake it enough for your opponent to fall and get hurt, then pound them till they don't get up for a while, and attempt to escape for yourself. This match is always fun. Except when the controls are a pain. I'll never forgive you, WWF Warzone cage match. One of the worst aspects of this game, when it comes to technical stuff, is always the load times. It's just a PlayStation 1 tradition to have bad load times. It was the con of the console generation due to discs not being that good as a cartridge. The Nintendo 64 had better load times, but way less capacity for data than a standard disc. So there was always that con of disc-based games. In WWF Smackdown 2 Know Your Role, these load times are annoying as they occur every single time when you start a match, win a match, and navigate the menus, let alone choose to save your data.
Oh my God!
Like Smackdown 1, there's audio popping, which is annoying. Seriously, why is this a thing? Was this a thing for basically every PlayStation 1 game? I never really had this issue with other games. Maybe it's just these wrestling games, whatever. Just a thing to be aware of when you play the game. It is that if you even want to play the game in the first place. At the end of the day, WWF Smackdown 2 Know Your Role is a mediocre game that I can't believe is as bad as it is.
Oh, bitch, bitch, bitch.
Given this was the only one I grew up playing, I remembered it better than this. But video games age like cottage cheese and hot Arizona desert sun.
That's beautiful. It's like poetry.
The game isn't good, nor is it the worst. That's still WWF Warzone by a country mile. Smackdown 2 just has clunky controls, meh combat, meh creation tools, long load times, lack of commentary, lack of a referee, PS1 era graphical glitches, and pointless entrances, all holding it back.
Is that all?
I still recommend the game and give it 2 stars for mediocre. I'm glad to be done with this series of games and probably won't be touching a wrestling game ever again anytime soon.
Yes! Oh, thank you, Lord in heaven.
With that, we wrap up yet another compilation. Overall, out of every WWF game for the PS1, I still have to give it to WWF WrestleMania, the arcade game, for the best 2D one, but for the 3D and traditional wrestling game, that goes to WWF Attitude, to which I never thought I'd say. I mean, it wasn't that good, but compared to every other traditional wrestling game on here, with Warzone, SmackDown, and SmackDown 2, it's got the best overall graphics, combat modes, charm, and don't get me started on the commentary, voiced characters, and better create a wrestler.
Here, here.
Anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later.
It's over, it's finally over.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
After not really enjoying WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2006, I had hoped to find my childhood wasn't a lie in 2007. Yet, all I got was yet another Smackdown 2 Know Your Role of an experience. My childhood was a lie. That game wasn't a good game, and 2007 isn't any better. There's a lot of reasons as to why, so let's get this one done with, in hopes whatever comes next won't just be yet another disappointment. Where the good wrestling games at?
The world may never know.
Create a Superstar has seen some improvements, yet also some downgrades. To begin with, we can now sculpt faces and bodies better than ever. We also have less freezing/stuttering during editing. In fact, while scrolling through all the very few assets this game comes with, you won't be stopping to load the next 3 assets in the tiny windows on your left. Nope, now it's just all there and loads pretty fast onto your wrestler for preview. What a nice change, but of course this brings me to a con. There's less content in this game than 2006 in terms of creation parts.
Oh boy, here we go.
So if you enjoyed certain shirts, pants, necklaces, masks, tattoos, or whatever, well, it's probably not even here in the game. But then again, it might be on Xbox 360 as I'm playing the PlayStation 2 version of these games, as all of them are on here, while the others were not. So I want to stay consistent with a platform to review this series on, therefore PS2 it was. So who knows, maybe on 360 you got more stuff, because memory and next generation disk capacity or whatever tech nonsense you want to talk about it is. This isn't some ordinary gamers.
Okay, I've already gone. Okay, you get it?
We're just reviewing the game if it's fun to play with or not.
Hey, okay, we get the point.
Honestly, the fluidity of creating wrestlers is just a nice change of pace. Things feel more responsive as I navigate the UI to find what I want, or at least try to. Which brings me to another change-up. The coloring has been improved, for the most part. Certain assets don't like being recolored, such as the white t-shirt can't be turned to another color. It's just a pale version of whatever you wanted instead. so I couldn't give Mutahar a red shirt. Instead, he got a turtleneck red shirt, which looks so awful on him. Then again, a turtleneck on anyone looks god-awful. I couldn't give Asmongold his hairstyle. Certain hairs can no longer be made longer or even recolored. There's less hairstyles in general. I couldn't even make Derp properly. Derp is love. Derp is life. Without Derp, mankind is nothing. I had to make him look like the Slim Jim mascot from back in the day after we lost Randy Savage. For anyone who even remembers the Slim Jim mascot.
Who's that?
One last thing before we move on, I'm getting tired of having to remake everyone in each game, so I'll be cutting back who I make in future reviews till about SVR 2010, where I remember being able to create things better. So in the next 2 games, expect only 4 of these guys coming back, as 3 are templates for creation mode testing, and the other is the best thing I ever made.
And the opponent, from parts unknown, the legend!
Create a moveset remains unchanged outside of one quality of life improvement. This being, you can alter everyone's moveset before exiting to save. You no longer have to edit each person individually with saving in between each one. What a time saver, as I can now just get in there and get things done. Good job, Ukes. This is what I like to see. Less stopping and going and more just playing a game. But yeah, that's about it. Given nothing else is different, so let's move on to create an entrance, which has also seen some improvements.
Oh, really?
Create an entrance has been enhanced to allow actual real-time previews. The standard that we're used to is finally here. No more generic 2D menus with tons of loading screens in between each one, just to see an entrance we may or may not like. Nope, now it just fades for a brief few seconds and then we can see what each thing is. There's plenty of entrances, including generics that are just unnamed unique wrestler entrances for legal reasons. We got plenty of choices in that regard. However,
ah boy, here we go.
The music and audience is tied together. So if you disable music for, say, content creation wise, cause copyright is bullshit, well, the entrance will be silent till fireworks go off or the announcer says your name.
The following contest is a Money in the Bank ladder match. On the way to the ring, from Florida, the Ladies Man.
It's just a nice improvement overall outside of this gripe. So, good on you, Ukes. One step forward, a few steps back.
Kids, there's just no pleasing them.
Create a stable is untouched from last time. The only good thing is several entrances are properly named now. Though you can't use Degeneration X, cause fuck you, that's why. Gotta hate it when games do that. Take what you like and lock it behind a paywall, let alone progression system that's not worth progressing through. Why can't everything just be unlocked from the start? Let me have my ultimate wrestling sandbox, Ukes, you fuckers.
You need to shut the fuck up!
Once again, the roster is terrible. What makes things worse is we got some people back like Mark Henry, but then we also got several nobodies that no one outside of fanboys of WWE can remember. I'm completely flabbergasted as to what kind of roster this is. Why are they getting worse and worse?
I don't know.
What also sucks is most legends are once again hidden behind progression under season mode and whatnot. I have no interest in that crap mode after so many Snorefests in a row. So why can't I just buy them with the cash? Alright, you can't even get the cash from challenges anymore, but more on that later when we cover the locker room.
Can't wait.
So overall, the roster sucks. Last time it was 3 Hulk Hogans, this time it's 4 Mick Foleys. I like some of the roster though.
No, I don't believe that. That's bullshit. There's no way.
Batista, Booker T, Finlay, JBL, Mark Henry, Matt Hardy, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, The Boogeyman, The Great Khali, Undertaker, Big Show, Edge, some strange invisible guy, I think it's a glitch.
That's a good one.
Kane, Kurt Angle, who I always despised, Lita, Mick Foley, Mickey James, Ric Flair, Rob Van Dam, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Umaga.
Is that all?
But the rest I could care less for, let alone don't remember, and again, the Legends list is okay, but having to play a terrible mode like Season Mode just to get trophies in certain match types, to be able to buy them, isn't worth it, and never will be. Also, why the fuck is Shane McMahon in the list? He's not a legend, he's a fucking little prick.
You can feel it, dude!
They finally decided it was time to change the combat system to something somehow way worse than Here Comes the Pain 3.0 from the last game. Oh, goody gumdrops, I absolutely hate this system. It's so god-awful. You ever wanted to break your face buttons from mashing them non-stop just to get up after getting knocked down, to only not get up for several minutes as your opponents beat you down some more? Or even go after others, let alone escape the steel cage? Yeah, this combat system fucking sucks.
He's not letting his opponent get away that easily. He made it to the top of the cage, just a little bit further.
You now only have one attack button via square. The rest is now tied to the right analog stick. Plus, you can also use R1 to combine it for even more attacks. Oh, and if you want to Irish whip anyone anymore, you gotta use R1 and X.
These superstars have been going hard all match. They sure have. And that's where the superb conditioning of the WWE superstars comes into play. No doubt, Cole. There ain't no way you're gonna win a match if you're out of...
The combat is just so clunky and unintuitive. You're just standing there, hoping to land a shot with these strange button combinations to only end up fucked up. More so than a cocaine-addicted bear going through withdrawals.
Running on fumes. I think these superstars are getting some feedback. Watch out! He reversed it!
Having to mash random buttons to get up, even though it won't actually speed up the process and will only damage your controller more. Having such strange button combinations to even pull off something so basic as an Irish whip, which used to just be a simple press of the circle button. Nothing about this new system is great. Even after a few hours of playing it, I'm still not enjoying it, nor can I get used to it.
A chair shot is a chair shot. And you can't take too many of those and expect to continue. He's not going to get caught with that one.
Though I will say, I get the idea, and if they can work it out in the next game, maybe it won't be so bad, cause it's not like they're going to change the combat system all over again, right? Right?
Oh, he's a terrific role model, all right. Edge is a real humanitarian. A guy who would just as soon sell you out as look at him. What are you talking about, JR?
The lock-on system has become worse, as now it's a pain to retarget the nearest threat. This led to me getting attacked plenty of times. How can I counter someone or dodge someone if the lock-on system wants me to focus on another person outside of the ring far away from me, who's fighting another guy? I try pressing the usual buttons, but those don't work. It appears once again, buttons have been reassigned. Fuck me.
Wasn't around for them. I don't think that chick, like every chick you've been with there, Michael, this ain't gonna be pretty.
Turns out they made the select button your target change.
Oh, okay.
Which doesn't always work, as I press it and my target is still someone I don't want, and that leads to me getting my ass kicked. What is going on here? Reversals for some reason have gotten worse in this game. Now you're even less likely to pull off a successful counter, so get ready to be beaten to a pulp whenever you play the game. At this point, they just need to remove it entirely or make it a single button that will actually work.
And there's the pin! That was like 2.5, Cole.
Oh, how lovely. They brought back the terrible stamina system that still drains like a 98-year-old chain smoker trying to compete in the Olympics. The only improvements that were made are now you can use circle instead of select to recover, and finally the AI will actually attempt to recover their stamina in this game, unlike in 2006. That's it.
What doesn't stop this? And who in their right mind would try to do that?
You can now fight in the crowd, yet no matter how hard I tried, this feature never worked. So I'll just say it's broken or a fucking lie and move on already. This game is terrible, and I just don't want to keep reviewing these games anymore. But I must finish what I started, just like the eventual completion of I review every sports game for the Atari 2600. Yeah, that's not coming along quite well either.
I'll tell you what, man, this one's just turned into a fight. Pure and simple. You're not going to last long if you keep getting hit by that.
There's only a single new match type available. Meanwhile, they removed several like Fulfill Your Fantasy, Backstage Brawl, 3 Stages of Hell, Slobber Knocker. Doesn't sound like a match type, it sounds like a certain hub freaking category. Hardcore, Tornado, 6-man tag, Table, Tornado, 6-man tag, Table, Triple Threat Tornado tag, and more.
These superstars have been going hard all match. They sure have. And that's where the superb conditioning of the WWE superstars comes in.
But for the one new match type available, it's Money in the Bank. Yeah, I don't see the appeal. It's not like you actually get any of the money from this to use to unlock stuff in the shop. So why should I play this match? Exactly, I shouldn't. And I only played it once for this review. It sucks, it's boring, there's no appeal whatsoever. It's just another ladder match situation, but now you have a briefcase in place of the belt that you don't get to even keep. Lame.
It's a long fall for whoever loses this fight, Cole. This is not a fight that either superstar can afford to lose. Oh my God, he is just a couple of inches away of becoming Mr. Money in the Bank. Man, you just can't put...
And yep, that's all this game has to offer. You may be wondering, what about Season Mode, PPV Mode, and GM Mode? Well, I hate them, so I will never cover those modes again, unless they're vastly improved and worth actually talking about. Till then, this review is short because this game lacks content and value. I went in expecting something good and better than 2006, especially because I played this game for hundreds of hours on my Darth Vader PSP back in the day. Yet, what I got was a worse version of 2006. Don't get me wrong, I'm still not a huge fan of 2006, but that game just offers a lot more in comparison.
Oh, no shit.
You got more assets for cause, you got more match types, you got a slightly better combat system, as this one in 2007 is just too goddamn clunky to deal with. Sure, 2007 has returning favorite wrestlers and more entrances, plus better coloring options for cause, not to mention the stellar soundtrack. Oh man, the soundtrack takes me back to when I was still a kid, but those alone cannot justify this game's existence. Just play 2006 for now, and let's hope 2008 won't be another disappointment.
It's our only hope!
Oh god, the loading and saving is still bad. Why does it take 5 minutes just to boot up the game? Almost 2 minutes to autosave. Almost 3 minutes to load into a match. This game is somehow worse at times with loading than previous games. Even those older Smackdown games weren't this atrocious. Were they?
Probably.
After this, we just got 4 more games to go. 2008 will be next, and I'm not exactly enthused to play it. Let's hope that in turn will make me actually like the game, because man, is there just too many mediocre wrestling games not worth really playing. Where the good games at? I haven't really played anything great yet, just painfully average at best. Oh well, it is what it is, right? After Dreamcast, PS1, Genesis, and now PS2, it's just mediocrity, 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 and painfully average. It is what it is.
You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. There it is.
At the end of the day, WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2007 is a mediocre game barely worth playing. I had high hopes and it didn't pay off. 2007 just doesn't offer much value in comparison to the last game. They removed several match types and the dozens of unique challenges to unlock stuff in favor of predetermined matches with only unique superstars to earn tiny amounts of cash. Yeah, no, I don't know a single person who plays these kinds of games just to play as John Cena the whole fucking time. Everyone just wants to create and goof around. And with modern WWE games, to download and share creations, making them get into all types of wacky shenanigans, like Bugs Bunny beating the crap out of AVGN.
Absolutely. Yep.
Anyways, 2007 isn't that good, but I'll recommend it as it's playable. Just gotta get used to the new combat system that makes 2006 look fluid in comparison. Hopefully 2008 won't disappoint. I remember people saying it was the best looking one graphically of all Smackdown vs. Raw games. So let's see if it's not just eye candy mediocrity. Anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later.
You can feel it, dude!
I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I don't fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude, crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently, thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back.
I think it's time to get back to the grind. We'll be looking at yet another WWE game I grew up with. After SmackDown 2 Know Your Role and SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 showcased, nostalgia blinded me twice in a row. I figured it was time to see if that's true with yet another childhood wrestling game. This time, it is WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2010.
Oh, no shit.
which I remember quite fondly when it comes to the combat roster, match types, and of course Creation Suite, especially given its introduction of Story Designer, one of my favorite things in WWE games back then. But I also remember it had vast restrictions I hated. So let's get this one over with and see if WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2010 for the PS2 is worth playing or not. Once I dived into Create a Superstar, I was surprised to see there wasn't really anything added. It's just the same thing as last time.
Oh, this shucks.
I remembered there being more to it than this, but maybe that was the PS3/360 version that has more content to play with. Who knows? Anyways, I was still having fun making everyone. Though I didn't bring back everyone, I did bring back a few. We got Charlie, Muda, Zach, Dirt, myself, Schlatt, Queso, Maximilian, Joe, and AVGN. Though some were harder to make than others, I mean there wasn't really much to work with to make AVGN correctly, for example. But it is whatever, I still had some decent fun making people in here, despite the lack of options and new stuff to play with. I also gave Derp his Slim Jim hair because, once again, there's no spiky hairstyles for him like in the older games. Sorry Derp, but those more wacky cause of old are no longer possible in these modern games for some stupid reason.
Why?
I'm about done with this mode anyways. So let's go over Create a Moveset, which has seen some change. But not for the better.
Who did it? Why'd they do it? Are they still alive? Can I find them? We're gonna go find them.
Create a Moveset remains unchanged as well, outside of a minor issue that doesn't need to be a thing, but sadly here we are. They made it where you can only edit one wrestler at a time in between saves. Yep, we're going back to 2000 instead of 2009. Why? Why make this change? Why make it where I cannot just edit everyone then save and exit? But no, now we have to edit one, save, edit another, save. It piles up with this fucking stupid bullshit stop and go crap. We were cruising down the highway last time, now we're taking the back roads because of some dumbass couldn't program things right.
Oh god. I mean, does it though? For sure? You sure about that? It means that?
When it comes to Create a Finisher, we get some new additions to making them, plus the ability to make diving finishers as well. This is great, as I have more stuff to play with. I'm all for this mode now. I enjoyed making wacky attacks for my cause, going ham by destroying a man's ball sack and then breaking their spine in half, or even spinning in the air like a monkey on PCP.
I'm on crack and even I think that's whack! Anyways, empty your pockets. Right now, everything. Yeah, I'm serious.
I highly recommend you play with this one now. It's actually worth your time here. I'll show off the moves when we talk about the combat after the Creation Suite, but for now we gotta cover Creating an Entrance. Creating an Entrance hasn't been touched up at all. It's still the same exact thing as the last few games, so that's a good or bad thing depending on your perspective. For me, it's just fine. I'd rather have them not mess with it if they won't make things better in some way. I did enjoy the sheer amount of entrances though. Having several legends hidden under the generic names was nice. Though I did hate how the crowd sound and stuff was tied to the music. If I disable the music, I get silence during this. But in game, everything is back to normal, again. But otherwise, that's about all I can say about this feature, so let's move on to Create a Stable. Creating stables is the same as last time. Under my WWE, you can create a stable. Okay, I give up on having things moved around, so whatever. There's nothing changed here from 2009, so make your stables and then go into Create an Entrance and select Team to make your duo and trio entrances for your stables. At least when it comes to stable entrances, we got a lot of duo, but barely anything for trio. What else is new? Also, only duo and trio are still supported, even though your stables can have several people within them. But whatever, at least we got some neat entrances like Brothers of Destruction, and then the one I gave Schlatt and Zach.
And the opponents, the Rocker and the Dog.
At least in terms of Creation Suite new stuff, we got rivals now. Yep, you can now set up allies and enemies with varying degrees as to just how much you hate and like each other.
Just take all my money! Oh, not this soon! Not this soon! Ah!
So you can now make your cause or even unique wrestlers have their own set of friends and foes, which will help determine who will interfere in matches that allow interference. So if you're losing, whoever is top of the friend list will be sure to jump in and aid you. Meanwhile, if you're dominating, your worst enemy is most likely to make your day a living hell.
Look at me. Do I look crazy to you?
Oh, what an elbow!
Starting out with the roster, it's pretty good, though kind of small once you notice the lack of legends. Yeah, this game's shortcoming for its roster is entirely in the legends, or their lack of. We only have a select few that most people can live without, including myself. The only ones I'd keep are The Rock and Stone Cold, but Stone Cold himself was a pre-order bonus DLC for PS3 and 360 owners only.
And they pushed him out. They got him out.
You done fucked it up!
PS2 owners got shafted once again. Why not just make him an unlockable or a cheat code then for the PS2 users? What a stupid decision. Everyone should get to have Stone Cold tell them because Stone Cold said so. Aw, man.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
I had plenty of options for my cause to be based on and uniques to play with. Overall, a decent roster with nothing really bad about it minus the legends, so let's move on to the combat itself finally.
Hard right hand. There goes Jericho.
SVR09 fleshed out the combat and made things so much fun, yet in this game nothing has changed as you still do the same attack combos using the same exact buttons basically. I didn't need a refresher or to look up for a manual online or anything of the sort. This game is just 2009 2.0. Now that's not a bad thing. In fact, 2009 was the best combat-wise up to this point. This game just doesn't try to add onto it or make things even more fluid is all.
We might be seeing the beginning of the end.
Run me on the game! Run me on it! This me, Dolores!
And Omega nails it. The match is over. That's all she wrote.
One major issue I have with this game is compared to past games. The AI is too passive, like they'll just stand there most of the time as I completely dominated them. Rarely ever would they fight back.
Another shot with the boot.
Even when I hosted matches with just the AI to see how they'd play it, it was no different. I just cannot understand this change-up. Was it because the console CPU couldn't process the AI that well anymore, so they had to scale it back? Akin to Dynasty Warriors losing its aggressive AI from Dynasty Warriors 3 and 4?
Personified in this one. Anything and everything will happen.
Either way, only once in a full moon did the AI actually fight back, and that was a breath of fresh air. I just wish, given I play these games on normal difficulty, would actually fight back. But whatever, I'd recommend you play on a higher difficulty in the hopes that they might be more aggressive.
Got planned with that steel chair. A hard right hand. And the lumber's back in the match.
One change that I'm actually completely happy with is the removal of the UI. At least for the most part. I mean, you're seeing it right there on screen right now. It's just now your finisher gauge that's visible underneath you. You're no longer given an on-screen HUD like before. This really helps when you have 6 people in the match at once. Now we can see everything more clearly. It's just a great change-up. Now if you want to know how well you're doing, just look at your wrestler and how they move around. It's not a terrible change, and I'd rather have it like this than in 2009 any day.
Bye-bye, samurai! That'll do some damage.
Finishers are still the same as well, but I did have fun making some, since there's more options now for ground finishers and the introduction of diving finishers. It's fun making wacky attacks straight out of a cartoon or anime.
This is it! Here he goes! The physicality. He can barely stand, but he still uses it.
All good things must come to an end. But I wish that match could have gone on a little longer.
I was given a few custom finishers to some of my cause just to spice up the combat more. Of course, you know what that means, right? Hey Queso, Asmongold wants Dolores.
He's gonna do some serious damage right here. And this one's been phenomenal. What? The atmosphere is tremendous.
As for new match types, we only have 2 with a few additional backstage brawls. Yay?
Yay! No, Chris, not yay.
Well, the backstage brawls are still soulless with no real sound effects or anything of the sort. You have very little space to fight in, no ability to move around to different locations either unlike in Shut Your Mouth. You only have the backstage, a green screen, and an office. It's boring and god-awful. I don't know how many times I smashed Queso's skull into the floor of the office room just to finally win the match. These things take forever, and with the AI so passive, things are just not that engaging at all. Plus, we're still limited to 2 people only fights. Divas are now allowed in another match type. Yep, they finally gave some love to the ladies, except it fucking sucks. It's just tag team match where men and women team up in teams of 2.
Crisp elbow drop.
You gotta tag in your partner according to the gender of the enemy, so if I'm playing as a dude, I gotta tag in my diva partner if the other dude tagged in his. Lame. I just want to fight, not be restricted. And no, you can't knock out the ref and then beat the shit out of the woman. This game is very white knight simp, who's also a physician. You'll get a disqualification if you try this. Fuck that, let me beat the shit out of a woman. Equal rights, equal lefts, together we're united in our love of fighting.
What's he doing?
Look at the power, the velocity, the impact. 1, 2, 3! They did it! Wow, what a match!
Here are your winners, the Monster and Mickey James.
Momentum is so important.
The last new match type is Championship Scramble. Instead of a typical title match, now you have several people competing for the belt. Whoever is the current champ must fight several other people at once within a time limit. If they survive, they keep the title. But if someone can tap them out or pin them or whatever, then they lose their title.
School's in session, boys and girls. It's the professor.
At first I thought, this sounds okay, so let's give it a try. Well, it turns out to be a rather boring mode, as everyone is competing to pin the champ within a short amount of time, so everyone is interrupting each other's pin and fighting each other and the champ.
Oh no! Here it comes!
It's just not that much fun, rather just irritating to play, much like a ladder match in this game, because every time I try to climb the ladder, it makes my character pick up the ladder instead, but when I want to pick it up, it makes me climb the ladder. Even though I'm positioned right, it won't register correctly. It's as if they programmed things backwards, which wouldn't have surprised me. But in the end, Championship Scramble is a terrible match type of its own, just like Mixed Tag Match.
He calls his partner over, and they're looking to go to work on the opponent.
Good luck walking after that one.
Well, as for story designer, the new huge deal for this entry, well, it's not as good as I remember.
Ah, boy, here we go.
You're vastly restricted on what you can even do. The lack of voices, sounds, and more really makes things all the more soulless. You can only have a select few scenes and matches in each story depending on how many wrestlers you use, and if it's a call or unique. You can't pause, rewind, or fast forward through scenes to see each segment to edit and test things out either. After 30 minutes of screwing around, I just gave up. Let me explain in more detail.
Explain yourself.
Of course, you're also limited to 2 stories total.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you can only save 2 stories. And no, you cannot delete the pre-made ones that eat up the list. So you have a limited amount of scenes, wrestlers, and whatnot you can use in each of your 2 stories. So good luck making something with that, with such a vast restriction.
Can't I just have a break? Can't I just have one break?
Sadly, this mode is held back by the sheer amount of loading screens. Just lots of fade to black with crowd sound effects to keep your attention as it loads through whatever you choose. Every time you pick a scene, pick a character, alter anything within the scene, and it loops without your ability to pause, fast forward, or rewind. So you're just waiting forever for the scene to load and progress so you can to where your last edit was to see how it turned out. And if you need to add anything, all of this just adds up to boredom. Maybe it's less bad flow times on PS3 and 360, but for the PS2, it's about as long as a normal loading screen to navigate modes and matches.
Not so good, huh? Not so good.
What little you can make, however, is another problem. I wasn't able to really create an interconnected story with my cause. You have scenes that feel like they just don't belong or can't be used for an ongoing plot, but a one-time encounter that may be used for a joke you post online or something, you know? It's just sad what little I have to work with here. I struggled to make something, namely because of the restrictions, load times, and lackluster scenes. But this brings me to another problem that will turn many people away. You have to use a controller to type up text. When you're just naming your cause, this is nothing. But now that you have to type in actual sentences, this leads to time-consuming typing with a PS2 controller.
It's awful.
Each line of text can take a few minutes to type as you have to space, backspace, shift the text upper and lowercase and whatnot. It's just not that fun to deal with. Now, if this game was on PC, I'd not have any problem with this portion of Story Designer. I mean, we could just type it up in a matter of seconds via keyboard, but no. Honestly, after a while, I just gave up. This mode is so flawed, yet the potential was there. I like Story Designer and concept, but man, does it get held back by a lack of audio options, lack of voices, tons of loading screens, a lack of scenes to use, restrictions on who can appear in each scene, and of course to type text with a freaking controller. Oh god, does it just add up to a not so much fun time. So, here's what I made within those 30 minutes I spent in Story Designer. Get the popcorn.
This is so exciting!
I need a medic bag! I'm dying! Somebody drop a medic bag! Oh, damn!
I'm about to take my drawers off! I'm about to take my drawers off!
I have seen the amateur and it is you. I have seen the amateur and it is you.
She called the cops! She called the cops! And this is what they fucking did to her!
Here we go in this tornado tag match, and that means all 4 competitors are legal at all times.
Just listen to his body crash into the ground! Can't breathe! Break! That one got him! Uh-oh! The Rocker's in some big trouble! This could be huge!
That should do it right there. He breaks up the pin, and the match continues.
Grizzly! Hardcore icon got it! 1, 2, 3! The hardcore icon
That's it?
Once again, bad load times galore. What is up with this? Roughly 35 to 58 seconds a pop depending on what you're doing. Plus to load into a match is well over a minute. This really held the game back for me. I just want to play, but instead I feel like I'm at the doctor's office, waiting for them to stop popping pills and check my prostate, to only end up with a porcupine shoved up my arse instead. Hell, at least that would be much more pleasant than this game's constantly overly long loading screens.
Couldn't have said that better myself.
They still haven't brought back 6-man tornado tag or even triple threat.
Damn it!
Why? Why remove those modes? We can have normal 3-man tag teams, but not at the same time? Also, why can't we have more than 2 people fighting backstage still, basically? Where's the all-out brawls of old at? Alright, back in WWE Smackdown, shut your mouth. That sucks. I shouldn't have to play an extremely old game just to experience fun like that. SVR10 can clearly handle several people in the ring at once, so there's zero excuse for this removal.
Orbo agrees.
I refuse to touch Road to WrestleMania as it's just campaign mode / career mode / 24/7 mode / PPV mode / tournament mode / who gives a flying fuck mode. Remove this crap and re-add triple threat and more. Could have used that disk space for better things, including more legends. Overall, there's a lack of content to really enjoy here. It's just more of the same as the new modes all but suck. I ran out of things to do pretty quickly, almost even more so than when I played and reviewed SVR09 a while ago. So be warned, unless you only play a WWE game here and there, you won't have much value in this game and the money you wasted on it.
Oh, majestic!
Well, this means our journey of reviewing every WWE Smackdown vs. Raw game is almost at an end, with only one game left to go. I'll get to WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2011 whenever I can. I just hope it brings in more legends and match types to justify its existence. So far, most of these games were mediocre and barely worth my time. Only a select few were anything painfully average, let alone borderline. Time to wrap things up.
Everyone at home, are you sitting? I mean, probably weird if you were standing watching this. I mean, what do you got some sort of standing desk? Think you're better than me, don't you?
At the end of the day, WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2010 isn't as great as I remembered. It's just the same game as 2009, except with some slight alterations. Story designer was so tacked on here and isn't anything special. I like the idea, but it needs more work. Combat remains basically unchanged, and it's just simple fast-paced arcade fun. The load times are horrendous, the UI is all but gone during combat, to which I kind of like. Yet when it comes to UI navigation, namely with the wrestler list, it's just terrible. Where's a normal list of everything? Why are we selecting one at a time without being able to know who's next? Create a Superstar doesn't really have anything added, especially assets. I just wanted more hair options at the very least. The soundtrack is great. Too bad I had to disable it because of YouTube. If you just want SVR09 but with a single new match and nothing really else changed, this is for you, as I just couldn't believe yet again nostalgia blinded me. Truly, nostalgia.
It's a hell of a drug.
But it's still fun and I can easily recommend the game. I just wish we had more legends to play with. I hate how Stone Cold is exclusive to pre-orders for PS3 and 360 owners. I'm not a fan of mixed tag team, and I'm awesome as I'm not allowed to beat up the women. I miss the older games where we can choke slam women in the ring. Equal rights, equal lefts.
Based.
Honestly, WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2010 for the PS2 is just an average fun little game, and I can recommend it. I'll get to SVR 11 soon. Till then, anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later.
The numbers don't lie!
I gotta beats, man, I feel like going full throttle. Play for keeps, no retreats, that's my whole gospel. Crash and burn, gonna learn down this hill. Head first, it's a curse, going in for the kill. Rise up, lock in, man, it's go time. By the one-way ticket to my own grind. Feeling primitive, in it just to win it big. Don't want that little bit, get it when I flip the switch. I like the feeling when I fucking win. I wanna do that shit again and again and again. I have one speed, no brakes, full send. You know it's sick to swim, all the pressure is a fan. I'm attacking and trapping and adapting, I'ma make it happen. I'm the captain, I'm steering the shit straight into the madness. Like a canvas, I'm painting the vision, never going back. And I just wanna fucking ball, push until I got it all. I feel the surge of adrenaline. Come on, I feel the blood pumping yet again. I feel the drive, I just wanna win. I feel the car rate coursing through my fucking skin. I'm locked in, maxed out, no plan B. I push the chips to the middle, that's everything. Risk it all for the person that I wanna be. Won't stop, that's the version that I'm gonna be.
So, it's been what, 3 months now since I last reviewed a wrestling game? Yeah, that sounds about right. So anyways, back to the grind since I was able to finally get WWE 12 to work. Somewhat.
What happened to how does this happen?
Yeah, so RPCS3 still isn't in a good state, but who honestly cares anymore? I'm tired of waiting for these games to be playable enough with little to no graphical glitches or technical problems. So I decided to just say...
Fuck it!
And go ahead and review WWE 12 anyways, because if I did wait, it wouldn't be till probably 2052 when I'm almost 60 years old to review the next wrestling game on my list.
Makes sense.
Honestly, when it comes to WWE 12, I wanted to really review this one in particular because it was the last WWE game I played growing up before I gave up on WWE altogether and lost all interest in wrestling.
Blasphemy!
Anyways, I did upgrade my GPU, which saw no real improvement to PC ports cause, shocker, PC games in the 2020s are apparently dog shit, no matter what.
No way.
So whatever, let's get into a retro game instead, and that being WWE 12, developed by Ukes and published by THQ in the year 2011, exclusively for next generation hardware. Yep, no PS2 or PSP versions this time around. SVR 11 was the last game for said systems. This was only available on PS3, Xbox 360, and Nintendo Wii, making you wonder just how truly next gen this title will end up being, given those hardware limitations are not there anymore, and with only 3 platforms to develop for instead of 5 or 6 like before. Just how improved could this entry be over the last one? Well, let's get into it by starting out with the Creation Suite, which has been upgraded since last time.
Sounds good.
Starting off with Create a Wrestler.
As one does.
I began by creating Charlie, Muda, Dirt, myself, with many others following suit. This time around, I found it rather easy to make people in comparison to WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2011, where there was a general lack of assets to make stuff with. Plus, the game just sucked so badly that I wanted to just get it over with, much like visiting relatives during the holidays.
I hear that.
Though I did notice the lack of hairstyles and jackets, so no flannel for JonTron, and not many hairs to accurately make other content creators. Plus, there was a lack of accessories, so I couldn't make as many people as I wanted. But still, I did end up bringing back practically everyone since 2023 when I just made gameplay videos on WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2010 for the PS2. It was fun trying to make people, even more outrageous characters like Eric Cartman, Santa Claus, Bobo the gangsta-ass clown, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, and even Harambe.
I have several questions.
Navigating the UI is smooth and everything is laid out rather well. Load times are incredibly short too, so there's no stuttering in between every choice akin to PS2. plus no screen shimmering, so that's a huge plus. Though I always do find myself struggling with face sculpting. Would be neat to have presets for face parts like mouths, nose, eyes, and ears to pick from, so we get more variety instead of choosing a base template to barely alter, akin to like The Sims, but I guess that would be reaching.
It is I, a picky bitch.
Moving over to create a moveset, everything is the same old. Though, if you wanted to alter your victory animation, you cannot still. Yep, for some reason, you must use the same generic single victory animation everyone else gets. Whatever happened to victory animations? Why can't we have those back? It brings more diversity to these games, giving more soul and character to matches and wrestlers. How come after GameCube and early PS2, we lost what was such a bitch basic concept that went a long way?
Yeah, he's right.
Overall, creative moveset hasn't changed at all. You just pick whatever you want, save, and move on to the next call you want to mess with. Yep, boring, I know. Moving on.
Moving on.
Create a stable has sadly been downgraded from past games.
Oh, for God's sake.
You cannot have multiple stables with the same people in them anymore. So if you put, say, Charlie into one, he cannot be used again in another, despite the fact in past games you could have multiple stables with the same people in them. Again, yet another downgrade that doesn't need to be a thing. It's just another way to make this entry weaker than past games.
It's just bad.
Outside of this, however, you still have the usual options for team entrances. Name, announcer name, and all that jazz. You can go right to create an entrance to alter the tag team entrance with both options of duo and triple being a thing. Yet, there's a general lack of tag team entrances altogether. Yeah, not surprising there to say the least. Hell, the game doesn't even come with Degeneration X or the Brothers of Destruction made. You gotta put them together yourself. Oh, and the Hardy Boys are completely gone from WWE at this point in time. But hey, at least their animation is there. Overall, just mediocrity at its finest. So let's move on to create an entrance for individual wrestlers instead. Create an entrance has not been altered in any capacity. So you get everything you'd usually get, including the several generically named entrance options that are just past wrestlers without the legal issue of naming them. So there's a good variety, especially if you get the DLC wrestlers, which adds 18 more whole options. I had fun making everyone use their usual or even altered them for the sake of being fresh or because their previous entrance options are no longer available. Since we don't have Scotty Too Hotty, I just gave Zach the Ultimate Warrior entrance.
From Texas,
Go!
Though I do wish we had more special options like on GameCube. Where's the dog one? Or limo? Or how about the Undertaker's motorcycle back when he was the badass? Would have been neat to have those and more, yet overall I had fun making almost 30 cars and their entrances.
From Canada, Mr. Black.
What's wrong with you?
Next up on the chopping block is create a finisher, which saw further expansion with one new addition. We can now make corner finishers. No longer are we stuck with just standard finishers and off the top rope ones either. Now we can put someone in the corner of the ring and just abuse them, much like Chris Brown does too. No. Anyways, I never really use these in game, but I did make a few finishers. Sadly, much like SVR 11, we cannot name them and have to choose a preset. This leads to samey named finishers and having trouble identifying which is which without having to preview each individual one. Minor inconvenience aside, the new finisher option is just fine. I still made some fast-paced over-the-top stuff like before, which is always a fun time. But there's actually a new creation suite mode, in fact a couple, but the only one I care to talk about is create an arena, so we'll do just that. Yeah, who cares about logos and highlight reels? No thanks.
No thanks.
So yeah, create an arena. Boy howdy, is the concept there? But the execution is pretty weak. Much like create a finisher in SVR 09, and create an entrance in SVR 06. I like the concept, however, and did make two extremely different arenas, one based around Moist Critical because of course, and one for me and all the darker wrestlers. I'm curious as to how this will be expanded upon in later entries, seeing how we cannot really alter much of the arena outside of the ring, mat, barricades, and announcer table. Yeah, the ramp, chairs, and other parts of the arena are not customizable, but overall, it's a neat feature.
Great job.
On to the combat, starting off with the roster.
As of course is tradition.
Oh boy howdy, is this roster a mixed bag of nobodies and legends. It's almost as bad as SVR 11, yet in turn still offers a good amount of greats to keep it from completely falling apart. Who the fuck is Alberto Del Rio? Alex Riley, Brodus Clay, Zack Ryder, Daniel Bryan, David Otunga, Husky Harris, Mason Ryan? That's not even a fucking name. Michael McGillicuddy? Go back to fucking Scotland. Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel, Tyson Kidd, and Wade Barrett, for example.
Are you sure about that?
Honestly, how many of you even know who these guys are? Yeah, exactly, no one knows who these generics are. They look like the most vanilla created wrestlers circa WWF Just Bring It you'd ever see. They don't sound iconic nor look iconic. These guys are just filler of WWE's entire roster for both brands of Raw and SmackDown. There's barely anyone here worth playing, let alone base your cause off of.
Okay, this is all getting a bit complicated. Why don't we let the man speak for himself?
So, allow me to explain how I'd improve this terrible roster. Let's take what we got here and cross off all the nobodies and douchebags who think they're God's greatest gift. Can you guess who that one is?
I do.
So, fuck CM Punk and all these other guys and gals I've crossed out. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's a lot of the roster right there.
No f***ing shit!
Thankfully, I found a good alternative to each of these unsalted crackers with a personality of a dry sponge. Now, take a good look at all the ones with the shadows around them because I was too lazy to highlight each individual portrait. As you can see, I just greatly improved this roster by replacing the nobodies with somebodies. At least more somebody than they will ever be compared to themselves. I had to go back to past and forward to future games to pick better wrestlers. I'm sure most of you will agree my picks are way superior to what we ended up with. Give me the greats of the 80s and 90s, let alone early 2000s, any day over whoever the fuck Alex Riley was supposed to be. Anyways, let's move on before I go ranting for another 10 minutes on bad WWE game rosters.
So thank God that's over! It's over, right?
We have to discuss the character select screen, which has been improved over the previous list style in SVR 11 and WWE Legends of WrestleMania. I like this setup, as we can clearly see everyone and find who we want to play as or fight against, let alone with. This is how you do a proper character select screen, especially in a fighting game. Though I do have to criticize how Divas, DOC, and Cause are all in a subsection where it's a list to pick from. Yeah, that sucks, but whatever. As long as you don't go making the 50 call limit amount of Cause, you shouldn't have an issue scrolling through to find whoever you want. Overall, it's still a vast improvement over past games, especially SVR 11. Take it away, Randy Savage.
Because comparatively speaking, you are nothing but garbage.
As for how this game controls and if the combat has seen any alterations, well, actually, yes. And for the most part, I'd say this time around, everything plays pretty good, especially with this newly introduced targeting system that allows one to pick a certain body part to damage with grapples. Once you grab someone, press and hold the R1 button and then a face button to attack a particular part. Triangle is head, square and circle are the left and right arms, and X is for legs. This also means you'll suffer limb damage during matches, causing you to become less effective in combat or to inflict the same punishment onto opponents, giving you more strategic approaches to winning matches.
There's no disqualification. Here we go. You don't want to make the world's strongest man angry. And Blade hits it. He has it. 2, and he breaks the hold. A few seconds longer, and this match would have been... The Monster wins.
Here is your winner, the Monster.
What a phenomenal contest. I can guarantee this match will be discussed heavily on WWE.com.
Nope.
If you can damage someone's legs and then go for a submission hold that hurts them even more, I'm more likely to get my opponents to submit. I like this concept. Even the reversal system works pretty well for the most part, even if my reflexes are not that fast as I get older, to always counterattack.
This truly is an all-out brawl.
Damn it!
Oh man, there's no getting up from that.
The controls themselves are laid out great, and I have no real complaints. Even if the simplicity of SVR 09 through SVR 11 is now gone, with the right analog stick doing practically nothing now. When looking at the manual, things may feel overwhelming at first, but don't let that discourage you from giving this game a go. I like this more tactical approach. I didn't even notice a stamina system, so there's a huge plus. God, I hated that stamina system of old.
He's looking at it again.
Wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
But of course, backstage brawls still suck, because it's practically silent with little to no environmental interactions outside of finishers to win matches. Also, you cannot explore much, as it's just a few hallways and a parking lot. Yep, that's it. Still nothing great compared to WWE Smackdown Shut Your Mouth, where you could explore the whole entire arena as well as outside and other interiors around the city. Now, we get laughably bad, small rooms to barely fight in.
Good night, man.
I miss those so much, especially because we could have up to 6 people fighting at once. Also, the camera wasn't so restrictive compared to these more modern games. Here we cannot move around freely and go to other locations. We have to stay within a tiny area. So if there's at least 3 people in a backstage brawl match, you gotta wait for them to move towards you if you want to go someplace else. Overall,
it's awful.
It's all fucking awful! It's all of it, and every single one of them sucks!
One huge pro I have to give WWE 12 is the AI is actually aggressive compared to SmackDown vs. Raw and Legends of WrestleMania. Holy crap, even on easy they'll fight back. This took me off guard as I was used to the AI being so passive for several games and platforms now, especially on the higher difficulty. I absolutely love this upgrade. Thank God the AI doesn't play around. Now I can actually feel like fighting is less of a bore and more of a
decent challenge.
Now I do feel threatened when facing more than a single opponent, especially in a Hell in a Cell or Steel Cage match, given the lack of room to evade their attacks from. Holy crap, I love this. Combat flows so much faster, and I'm working harder to win. This right here is a huge step up from past games. Maybe it's because of the fact this game isn't made for last gen hardware, but Legends of WrestleMania wasn't either. Whatever the reason, I'm just glad to have worthy opponents to keep me on my feet.
Oh, that's just sick. Here, take that, Edge. Watch it. Oh, stop at the last second. Again, you're watching Hell in a Cell, an event that will shorten careers and create legends.
Though one thing I have to complain about is compared to SmackDown vs. Raw and even those GameCube games, is the general lack of cinematic shots. You barely have any in this game, especially if there's multiple people in the ring outside of one-on-one. This in turn hindered my attempts at making an intro for this review. I love those cinematic moments as it added to the spectacle of these matches. Whether it was jumping off of the top rope or performing a finisher, these are barely ever shown like in the past. So you can choke slam someone, don't be surprised if the camera doesn't focus on that and instead stays put in a static motion, showing the entire ring. Yeah, you barely get any different camera angles in WWE 12. What a major letdown. But whatever, at least victory scenes are still here, unlike in older games where they actually removed the victory animations outside of Royal Rumble for some stupid ass reason.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah, that was a thing at one point. But also, you no longer get victory animations to choose from. But I already bitched about that one. So let's move on to the new match types for me to bitch about instead.
Oh, thank God.
WWE 12 comes with exactly whopping 3 whole new match types. You have 2 new variations of Backstage Brawl, as there's now the ability to play 1-on-2 and 1-on-3. Yep, that's it. And Backstage Brawls are still crappy, and I've already ranted about this one earlier, so let's move on to the last new addition. The last new addition for match types is a 40-man Royal Rumble.
Oh, hell no!
Yeah, given the average Royal Rumble match lasts for over 30 minutes, you can guess how bad this one would be. I clocked in around 40 minutes before quitting just because of the file size being too huge, and this match wasn't even halfway done. It takes for fucking forever to complete this one, and I could care less for it. But hey, it's neat to have up to 40 people participate with 6 in the ring at once. Good for when you want to play with your cause especially, but yeah, that's it in terms of new content for matches.
That's all it is?
we still do not have 6-man triple threat or 6-man tornado tag team matches. Plus, backstage brawls are still limited to 4 people max, with certain variations. We cannot have total control and freedom like in past games. Ever since SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, they've basically neutered these games in terms of scale and fun. I miss having 3 teams of 2 duking it out at once, especially backstage and Shut Your Mouth. Those were some of the most fun moments I've ever had in WWE games. Why can't they bring that shit back? It's not a technical limitation, clearly, just a laziness one.
I mean, this right here is the epitome of not even trying.
One last thing regarding combat and matches before we move on to the last part, that being story designer. We gotta talk about this match creator thing. It sucks.
Drop mic, we're out.
Yeah, nothing else really needs to be said. But I guess I could rant for just a little while longer.
Oh, okay.
With the match creator, you can set up how the match will play by selecting one of the match types, then picking who participates, choosing the rules, arena, and then playing the No. Wait. Wait a goddamn tootin' moment here. This is just a normal setup and exhibition with the rules option, but with a different name to classify it as a new feature.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, overall this thing sucks. You cannot at all make matches. This is not a match creator, it's a fraud. You cannot freely choose things as it's restricted. So you want to have men and women fight? Too bad. Want to have a 6-man tornado tag team match? Too bad. Want to have a 6-man backstage brawl match? Too bad. You cannot really do anything with this. Hell, you can't even have a 4 or 6 person Inferno match. You can't set the hell in a Cell on fire, where you mix Inferno match and Hell in a Cell together, and you can have weapons and shit thrown into the ring. No, you can't do nothing. What's the point of a match creator if you cannot freely create what the fuck you want? It's just a load of
bullshit!
If you went in expecting story designer to be improved at all, well, I only have one thing to say to you, good sir.
You stupid.
Yeah, story designer hasn't changed at all from SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. At least this one doesn't crash on me yet. All of the cons from SVR 10 and 11 return. We'll get to those in a minute, but first off, you may be wondering something. Are there any new scenes within story designer?
Yeah, it was fucking terrible. Fuck you! Fuck you!
Yeah, I don't think there is any at all. At least anything really new that I can tell from start off. I literally cannot tell. But I did have fun abusing Jay Schlatt, to say the least.
Yeah, I can't believe he said that either. Well, let's see if he's right.
As for what's new in terms of scenes to play with, not much honestly from what I can tell. Maybe they should have a new label on the new ones so we can tell if there's additional content here akin to when you see new match types and shit. But no, we do not have any way to tell. Not even SmackDown Hotel has any information regarding this. I still had fun going through them to create wacky situations. Don't get me wrong. Not surprising to say that typing any text still sucks given you're forced to use the controller, so enjoy making dialogue of only 1 or 2 sentences that take several minutes to create. Yeah, a single scene with a few lines of dialogue will roughly take 5 minutes or longer, especially since you cannot choose which frame to view, and to have to wait, sadly, for the scene to play through and loop again before you're allowed to see what everything looks like. Yeah, Story Designer is still very restricted and boring. Shocker, I know. Plus, for some reason, there's glitches where it'll choose the wrong person for the dialogue.
I have seen the amateur and it is you. I have seen the amateur and it is you.
Shut up!
Compared to PS2, however, you cannot really make stories with created wrestlers and arenas. The limit is extremely small. Smaller than an Asian man's penis.
So small.
You can only use your cause a total of 15 times per story. Every scene or match that has a call counts towards this limit, meaning if you wanted to make anything with all your cause and arenas, you gotta make several individual stories and keep note of everything that happened previously as to not repeat scenes, dialogue, and matches while hitting dozens of long loading screens just to get to experience a full story.
Man, this sucks. It's just like, I don't even know what to say.
You see that?
You still sadly cannot make gay jokes.
Bruh.
Yep, on top of not being able to have 2 guys do stuff together, you cannot mix genders either. Even if the referee is a man, but you place divas into the scene, it won't let you till the ref is replaced with a random diva. And though there is apparently no female ref option, making things even worse.
Oh, you do complain a lot.
But hey, I did recreate this classic from SVR 11 from back in 2025 when I reviewed that game, so enjoy this, cause honestly it's the closest we're going to get to gay comedy in this review.
So tonight I'm on top. Okay, sweet buns.
No, I'm tired of always being on the bottom. I want to be on top for once.
Oh, come on, sweet buns. Don't be like that. Sweet buns.
Overall, Story Designer just needs to go. If they're not going to make it worthwhile with plenty of scenes and player freedom, then why does it even exist?
Good question.
I would like to use this more often if we could use our created content more than just a few times per story, if the load times were improved, if there was an easier way to type text, and if there was more things to play with. But whatever, let's just move on to the other section and get this review over with. It's long enough.
No shit.
Load times are comparatively short coming from the GameCube and PS2, where you had 30 seconds to 50 second long loading screens and several of them in a row just to get to the match you wanted to play. So hats off to Ukes for making this game fast as possible. The worst loading times are from Story Designer, shocker, and booting into a Royal Rumble match, shocker, especially the new 40-man option, which can range between, I would say about between 10 to 25 seconds. So nothing outrageous. Kind of hard to go back to the PS2 games now. Oh, but there is something worth bitching about.
What?
You know what that is?
No.
Man, the soundtrack this time around is total dog shit. What a massive downgrade, but I get it. Around this time, music started to die out in favor of lame-ass dubstep and freaking gay-ass K-pop shit. The good old rock and metal era that lasted, what, roughly 50 plus years, was over at this point. No one wanted Guitar Hero or Rock Band anymore. No one listened to Slipknot or Metallica anymore. It was the point of no return for the music industry. So of fucking course, WWE 12 has one of the worst soundtracks in WWE video game history. Just look at it.
Oh, not so good, huh? Not so good.
Now compare that to WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2010 and 2007. Yeah, a night and day difference, with 2007 being one of the best selection of songs to blare through your speakers.
Can I get an amen?
I only ever encountered one major glitch. This was during a ladder match, and it kept happening. Two of the wrestlers glitched out and couldn't be interacted with, and the camera wonked out. Now I'm not sure if this is a vanilla bug, but it kept happening just no matter what arena I chose. As long as it was a 6-man ladder match, it ended up like this at some point, making it impossible to play. And I swear to God, I remember seeing this bug on the PS3 version of this game on native hardware back when I was a kid. I swear that this is an actual glitch and not an emulation thing.
Did he get it?
NANI?!
I can't see, dude.
Now trying to make the climb again, slowly, but with everything he's been through, as quickly as
This is not okay. This needs to stop now. This is cancer. This is so much cancer that I can feel the tumors growing on my back.
Here is your winner.
What?
The Rocker!
Look at the carnage laying around the ring.
I couldn't make this shit up. I couldn't make this shit up if I tried. I'm sad that I lack the talent to make this shit up.
And with that, we're now down to only 7 more games out of the 26 total.
That's it?
Yeah, we still got a long ass ways to go, but that's for another day. For now, let's wrap this one up, as it's been a long one, folks.
You ain't lying.
I don't like it when my reviews end up being so long, because the average YouTube viewer has a goldfish attention span of 5 seconds. They know likey videos that are longer than 30 seconds at most. What a sad, sad state YouTube has become.
Based.
Well, this review is already huge enough. It's already over 118 gigs worth of hard drive space, eating up the majority of my SSD. So let's go ahead and just wrap this one up, shall we? Cause yeah, this project, as you can see on screen, was a little large, to say the least.
Holy shit!
At the end of the day, WWE 12 is an average game worth playing. It has a few hiccups holding it back from being great, like the lack of new match types, the lack of old match types returning, the match creator being so restrictive and pointless, the lack of call assets, bad load times of story designer itself, the mediocre roster that's solely saved by its legends and greats and DLC, backstage brawls still sucking, and a few other things.
Is that all?
I still had fun with this game, and was glad to go back and relive my last childhood WWE game. I've been reviewing wrestling games for 2 years now, almost 50 of them total since February of 2024, starting off with The Simpsons Wrestling, and working my way through several WWF/WWE games and other wrestling games as well. I've played so many bad ones, several good ones, and a few borderline great ones too. I've played them on PS1, Dreamcast, Genesis, PS1, 2, Game Boy Color, Atari 2600, Atari 7800, NES, Nintendo 64, GameCube, Xbox, and PS3.
What do you want, a medal?
I've reviewed every WWE game for Dreamcast, Genesis, PlayStation 1, Nintendo 64, NES, GameCube, and PS2. Plus I've reviewed every Smackdown vs. Raw game, every version of WWF Attitude, every version of Warzone, the Legends of Wrestling trilogy, and all in an attempt to eventually review every WWE game by Ukes as my last journey with these games. But after so many games in such a short amount of time, I've decided it was best to know when to quit. I'm struggling, and not there like I used to be. Much like when a wrestler finds their performance dwindling, I need to come to terms with my time being here is at an end, at least for now. After 48 wrestling games in a little over 2 years on top of everything else I've worked on between them, it's time for me to hang up the hat and walk away for a while. I need a break, a well-deserved vacation from wrestling games altogether. After much thought, I've decided this was the last wrestling game for a while, a long while, and a good one to go out on too. I've had so much fun doing all these things with you guys, but it's time to rest in peace from this genre for a long, long time. Like Mr. Rogers said, don't cry because it's over. Be happy because it happened. We've had our ups and downs, we've had our differences on what game is better, but one thing we can all agree on is that WWE games, despite their faults, are a fun time. To create wrestlers and brutalize them, to make memories with friends and family, to make people laugh online. These games are truly special.
The cream of the crop! Nobody does it better!
And while 2K has run the series into the ground worse than Fox has The Simpsons, we can always cherish the good times with these older games, reliving our childhoods, recapturing the magic of a simpler time, a better time. I'm glad to have gone through with these journeys over the last couple of years. I'm at a loss for words, so I'll just say this. I regret nothing. I loved my time here, and I'll miss you all. It was a hell of a ride. For now, however, this is goodbye to wrestling games, and hell out to a new tomorrow. This is the Monster, signing off. I'll miss you too, brother. I miss you too.
Let me hear you say. Sometimes things will get hard and leave you covered in scars, but I know I can get out of this. And I feel like life moves way too fast to hold on to things from the past. So goodbye to things I'll never miss.